Hey, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Special edition SC Sports World. We have a gem. Every time this brother's here, I go to one of his classes. I learn so much, man. This is guy Steve Johnson. He's doing big things in the Pittsburgh area, nationwide, man. If you haven't heard him, you need to get with this brother, man. He will drop some knowledge on you. I'm excited to be here. Right, and we got my partner, Mike Vick, here.
Smiling already, man. Just happy to have this brother here. Pittsburgh natives from Wilkinsburg, PA. Dynamic young brother with a great mind and a better heart who loves his people, who spend a lot of time and effort trying to enlighten us for the great people we come from. My brother, Stephen Johnson.
Appreciate it, man. Glad to be here with y'all brothers,
Steve, man. It's been so long
with y'all brothers, man.
It's been so long since you've been here, man. There's so much going on.
Yeah, man.
Before we get started, tell us what's been going on with you. We know you have the classes, the books, the website.
Definitely.
You know.
Still pushing, man. Right now, I'm working on the third book, man.
Okay.
So it's finished right now. It's at the editing process. So.
Did you have a title yet?
Yeah, it's called Conversations with My Elders, man.
Okay.
It's I'm bridging that gap, man.
Yes,
you
sir.
know, with the elders and the younger generation, man, showing them, we can communicate and love each other, man.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's basically a book where I interviewed a lot of elders. Booker T. Coleman's in there. A lot of people know him as Dr. Cobb. I got a chance to interview him.
From Hidden Colors.
From Hidden Colors.
Yeah, New York,
I got him in there.
New York brother.
New York, good brother, too.
Good brother. I was talking about him yesterday,
brother.
brother. Ironically enough.
Man. Dr. Uhuru Hotep from Dupree University.
Yeah, we're familiar with him.
We got some really good brothers, man, that I interview, as well as some sisters.
Yeah.
From all over the country. I got a chance to sit down with Build and discuss some different subjects, man. So that's what I've been working on primarily, man, is this third book. I had to shut it down for a minute, man.
Okay.
You know, go back into the lab, as they say, and build and get my mind clear. And I think it's a really good product. I'll be putting it out hopefully the end of October, man.
Now this brother's so intelligent. He talking about he had to shut it down. He called it shut it down, but he done went back to go get his master's. He shut it down.
Okay,
so he's going there. And
Definitely.
Hey, brother,
Definitely.
I just admire your energy
Appreciate you, man.
and your commitment to enlighten us of the great people we come
Definitely,
from.
man.
I really appreciate you being here.
Definitely. And as you know, Mike, most of the stuff we learn, man, we learn on our own.
Yes, sir.
We pick up books, we study, but I kept running into that obstacle, man. What degree you got? Where's your paperwork? And I said, man, let me go ahead and master this real quick.
Well, you already mastered
get this
it.
out the way.
Right. The paperwork.
You should be teaching the class, but
definitely. Well, I'm humble about that, brother. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, man.
Hey, there's so much going on, and I wanted to get your thoughts. I know you talk a lot about the hip hop and their effect on the black men.
Definitely.
A couple great pieces I've read, and Coalition Against Violence, and you have a piece in there. Talk about that, how hip hop and destruction of the black man.
Oh, man,
I grew up on it.
Me too,
You know what I mean? But what I'm hearing now is nothing like what I grew up on. This is nothing but destructive. I can't even let my kids listen to it.
Not even the radio, man.
Yeah.
Listen to the radio now, man. I can't listen to it with my kids in the car.
Exactly.
But hip hop, man, it plays a huge role in where we at, man. As far as the mind state of the youth, what they think about themselves.
Right.
It's been a setup from the door, man. We know these corporations set up these companies, man, and they funnel in all this negativity, man. And you don't see that in the Jewish community. You don't see that in the Russian community. You know what I mean? Where they allow themselves to be degraded, and the way they talk about the women, and it's a new day, man.
Yeah.
Everything evolves. You know what I'm saying? And I respect the young brothers for trying to do something, but they need more guidance, man. You got little Chief Keef and little Mousy and these young dudes out here, man, under the age of 20 that's hot, that a lot of people are listening to, man, and they spitting a lot of garbage, man.
Exactly.
So it's been a plan. It's been a setup from day one, man, as far as because they knew how powerful it was.
There you go.
They knew. They seen Public Enemy. They seen NW. They seen these dudes. They said, man, hold up, man. We got to do something. We got to slow this down, man.
They thought it was going to fail, and then once they saw that it was actually moving people to a level of consciousness.
Definitely, man.
They had the Public Enemy had people marching in the street.
Right. Definitely. Fight the power.
Looking forward to going to college. And now this nonsense you hear out here is just...
It's culture, man. You know what I'm saying? Culture is power. Culture is an instrument of power. And hip-hop is a big part of our culture today, man.
Ironically enough, in my humble opinion, what they're doing now. They reward the one that got the most negative message to talk the loudest, who can detriment us the most.
Definitely.
That's who get the record deal.
Definitely, definitely.
You know?
And you know, with a guy, you know, who's been on the internet, that, you know, I think you sent me some links. D1.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's a guy
Oh,
who
he
drops
kicking it.
knowledge.
He kicking it, brother.
You know, and when they tried to sign him, they wanted to change his whole style, and
And
he
he ain't going
refused to
for
do
it.
it.
He
So
ain't
brothers
going for
like this, these are
It's
the guys
coming.
we have to come and
It's
support
coming.
Exactly.
and really get behind.
It's
You know,
coming.
just much like Stevie J doing the big thing.
That's why I
you
know
with
it's
the youth.
coming. For the simple fact that we all have gifts. If we take each gift that we have and each one's do a little bit, we wind up doing a lot.
Definitely.
You understand? And stay in our lane. And because when you talk about the ancestors, like you see, he tapped into his ancestors, that spirit is in us. You know, most of us do what's wrong for a lack of knowledge of what's right. It's gonna be all right though, brother, because that's in your DNA. And we have came through harder times than this.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of time.
Yeah, it is. It is.
See, Steve, now you still, what are your groups? I mean, tell the viewing audience, you know, when the groups are and
Okay.
how they can get involved.
Yeah, well,
you know,
basically
with
for the
this.
last 6 years of my life,
Okay.
we've been doing classes with the youth
Okay.
and with the adults.
Okay.
You know, sometimes we'll do it with the youth primarily, sometimes with adults. Right now, I'm with the youth.
Okay.
Primarily working with
Okay.
the young brothers and sisters, man.
Okay. Okay.
But for the last 6 years, we have classes on Saturdays at the either Homewood Library or the East Liberty Library.
Okay.
We get together, we build. Brother Mike, y'all been there. We build on all different types of subjects: racism, the state of the black family, you know, poverty. You know, we even talk to the young brothers about credit, man. You know,
Okay.
how to get your credit right.
There you
You know,
go.
how to
Okay.
prepare for
Okay.
this society, man. Because
Right,
in a lot of cases, we're not prepared the right way, man.
Exactly.
And as you know, with anything, if you're not prepared, you're gonna fail, man.
That's right.
You're gonna
Exactly.
fail. You got some problems.
All right. Hey, so now is it every Saturday? or
Every
how-
Saturday, every Saturday. We'll be starting back up in November. Right
Okay.
now, we're on a little break, but primarily with November, the second week of November, we're gonna start back up with the
Okay.
young brothers. Man.
Okay. Where? Now was that?
That'll be at the East Liberty Library.
Liberty Library.
Yeah, every
Okay.
Saturday starting about 10:30 a.m.
10:30.
Yeah, ages 12 to 18. Bring your kid through. Parents are welcome. Come to
Okay.
the class. You sit in the back. If you want to participate, you can.
Okay.
But yeah, man.
One of
SIS
the-
program's been bringing a lot of their
That's
their
great.
kids.
That's
That's
great.
Those
Man.
are
Yeah.
some of the ones that
Definitely.
need it,
Yeah.
man.
Definitely.
You know, I'm sure you weren't aware, well, I know you were aware how much I learned from you, but being privy to the classes now that you share so eloquently with myself and the other people who were there, that took a time you had the youth as well as the adults, and I was part of it.
Right.
I want to share a poem that I had wrote for you
Ah, man.
that inspired me, just the vast amount of knowledge and awareness that you gave me. So I want to share this, the tribute to Brother Stephen Johnson called, I Am the Black Wish. Though my eyes are closed, my mind is wide open. So I'm hoping we'll see the importance of the precious gift of time. Daily wool is being pulled over unconscious black folks' eyes. Hence, they don't wince, weep or lose any sleep when we kill our own kind. If we seek to teach the beliefs and thoughts of Ma'at, all these dastardly deeds will stop. There are 7 virtues the original man ought to be taught. Then the black man will see peace and prosperity again. Truth, justice, order, harmony, balance, reciprocity, and propriety were once the morals and values of our communities. In antiquity, we prospered and thrived because our lives were entwined with God's divine order. After our capture, our ways were changed and our days became shorter. To justify misery and demise, our enemies lie and claim we're worthless, shiftless, lazy, and uncouth. I am the Black Wish. My dream is that we redeem our supreme heritage and roots and again teach our kids the power of love, honor, obedience, and truth. Inspired by Stephen Johnson.
Appreciate that.
All right,
brother.
all right.
Powerful, man.
Deserve it,
That's a
man.
powerful brother right there, man.
Oh, yeah,
Appreciate
yeah.
that, man. That
Truth,
humbles me,
man. That's how I feel about it,
True.
man.
Hey, Steve, man, you're doing great things, but I want to get your perspective on a couple things that's hot and heavy right now. Ferguson, the situation in Ferguson. I want to get your viewpoints on that.
Okay.
How the media and different things are trying to
right.
take it there. And now, do you know, and then shortly after that, now you see all these different cases with a Ray Rice,
Right.
a Adrian Peterson, and every time you turn around, as if. Well, I just want to
black
get
man.
I just want to get your viewpoints on
Another
it. 'cause
black
I
man.
know-
Ironic, you know, the homosexual brothers that come out are black men, and we get a lot of these cases of black men being put in front of the media and displaying our dysfunction. But Ferguson, man, that was terrible, man. It really was, man. It was just sad to see this young brother, you know, with his hands up, man. You know, the brother had his hands up, and, you know, the witnesses are saying. And the fact that they haven't indicted the police officer, again, just shows that our life means nothing. You know, they degrade black life. It's like almost like we ain't even human, man. You know, they pull out their weapons and they kill us without hesitation, man. And, you know, I look at it two ways, bro.
Okay.
You know, the first wave is, of course, we got white supremacy. We got, you know, we got racism. We got people who don't like young black men, who are afraid of young black men because of what they see, different things like that. And on the other hand, it's like, you know, why aren't we raising our young brothers to be able to deal with the police better? Why don't we have better mind states and better parents and better situations that can teach these young brothers how to deal with the police, man, and how not to do certain things and how to do certain things?
That's a great
Why
point.
aren't we policing our own communities is another question.
That's
the key thing.
You know, why are we letting, you know what I'm saying? So there's, you know, it's two sides. You know, I've learned over the last couple of years, man, to not blame another person for my problems.
That's right.
I got to look at myself and take a deep look at myself and say, okay, what do I need to do to become better so this doesn't happen to me again? And this is what we need to do as a people, man.
Exactly.
Black folks, we ain't never really dealt with our problems, man.
There you go.
We push it to the side, you know,
Yeah.
thinking that they're going to go away after we drink some alcohol or do whatever, you know what I mean? The problem is still going to be there that next day when you wake up.
Right.
So either we deal with these problems of poverty, this miseducation, you know, all these different things. And then it was the ironic thing was they showed him stealing some cigars. You know, on, you know,
If
that
was him.
If that was him,
we're not sure.
Exactly.
If that was indeed him.
Exactly, man. So you got to be careful with the media today, man. You know?
Yeah, no question.
You got to be careful what you're listening to and if what you believe. You know what I'm saying?
I think it was significant what you just got finished airing, that our problems, we have to address our problems. That's why we're so much on the path of leading our people to what you're doing as far as your books and things of that nature, providing an opportunity to empower yourself financially from your work.
Definitely.
You know, that's part of what we have to, one of the biggest things in our community right now is the simple fact that we don't have a financial base in our own community, you know?
We don't spend with each other, man.
Right.
There you go.
Right.
We
A
take our
dollar.
money and 2 minutes later it's out of the community.
dollar's
You know what I
gone,
mean?
man.
So
Dollar's
until we recognize the value within ourselves and we value ourselves, then the other people have to value us as well. Because simple fact, we won't stand for that. If you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us, and that's our mindset.
Definitely, definitely.
And that's true. As you talk about that, in the conscious community, even here in Pittsburgh, you know, it's the same thing on a national level.
Right.
There's seems to be a division.
Yes.
You know, I'll go to one event.
Yes.
You know, this conscious group.
Yes.
But I talk about this other conscious
Yes.
person.
Yes.
We need to come together on that. I mean, have you felt that? I mean,
I've
we know
definitely
you've been
felt
doing
that. Definitely felt that.
great work with the youth,
Definitely felt that.
and
Right.
you know,
And that's just a part of our condition.
Right.
Just because you know something doesn't mean that it's going to make you a better person.
you go.
know,
Right.
I've learned that as well, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just because I've been learning all this knowledge, unless I apply it to my life and treat people better
Right.
and become a better person, I don't mean nothing because I know about Kemet or
Right.
Kush. You know what I'm saying? What's that
Right.
mean? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? If I don't share it with somebody else. But the conscious community, man, it's just like the hood, man. It's similar to the hood.
It
You got a
is
lot
the
of
hood.
jealousy. You got a
It
lot
is
of
the hood.
beefing. You got a lot of people arguing back and forth. You know, and as the elders teach us, man, it's either mod or it's fet, man. You either one way or the other, man. Which side are you on? What team are you playing for? You know what I'm saying? And you know, there's a lot of jealousy, a lot of grudges. You know, you got a lot of feminism
Senseless
going
grudges,
on, a
yeah.
lot of senseless feminism. You know, when I go to New York all the time, man, and when I'm up there, man, I look at the House of Consciousness.
Right,
And
right.
I look at Sarnetter and them brothers, man. And they have these lectures where eventually
Oh,
these
man.
dudes end up beefing. You know, I've seen
Yeah.
dudes almost get into fights,
Oh,
man.
man. I'm
You
still
know,
trying to understand the purpose
I don't
of the debates. You know, it's not like they're solving anything. It's
Right,
one
man.
guy arguing hard about
Exactly.
this, and then he gets to talking
Right,
bad about this
right.
and personal
Is
stuff.
the
and-
white man the devil's the new topic right now? And I'm saying, what the hell? What's that even mean? Like, what we even talking about this for, man? You know, let's get out this box. Let's stop talking about who put us in the box, man.
And
Let's
see how
get
we
out of it.
Get out of it.
Let's
And
figure
what
out
can
a
we do
strategy.
collectively as a people to do better amongst
Definitely,
ourselves? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, my new thing always saying, if we just did a little bit, we wind up all doing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but we're working together for the same goal. It doesn't matter if, like I love the fact how much I learned from this brother. And when I pass it on, Stephen Johnson taught me that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I learned so much from you. So, you know, once we get to the point that we go beyond pettiness, that's just pettiness.
Yeah.
What we talking about,
Yeah.
petty stuff. I want to beat my thought into
Right.
your mind.
Right.
Come on,
Right.
brother.
Right. Or you got the haters, you know, everybody trying to do a million different things.
Right,
Play your
right.
role.
There
You're
you
dealing
go.
with the
Exactly.
young brothers
There you
with
go.
the sport. That's your role, brother.
There you
You're
go.
doing a great job with that. Mike, with your poetry, you know, everybody can't be a writer. Everybody can't do, you know what I'm saying? Play your role, play your part, we'll be fine, man. Stop trying to do 50 different things, you know.
But the other part I want to get in and give you props, as a matter of fact, as far as you saying something, I just laughed because I happen to know you personally. Okay, you are a better person because the principles that you know from antiquity, you imply in your daily life.
Definitely.
Same way I try to do with my poetry. I just don't write this stuff and it sounds beautiful, and they happen to call me. I try to live that way. But once we get to the point that as a black man, we understand our divine order that's coming here and where we come from. That's where knowledge is power,
Definitely.
and we know how to apply that.
Definitely.
See, so once we get to that point that I aim and we have on the same agenda, we don't got no beef. We don't got no beef. If I came in to help you, well, both of y'all know me personally. I know your personally. Nothing that you ever told me you was going to do that you haven't done. Once that's our agenda as a people all the time, woo, look out.
Yeah, that's a good point, bro. Great point.
Steve, you bring up this issue of you know, everybody wants to do, you know, step out of their lane. It's a leadership thing.
Right.
You know, so many people are holding on, you know, instead of passing that baton, so to speak. You know, that we have all these little different groups, and we're not working together. How can we address that?
Historically, we've been a Messiah-prone people. Brother Farrakhan calls it the Mahdi, or the Mahdi, right, which is a self-guided one. We were looking for that savior, you know. We wait for the Martin Luther Kings, the X's. This is why we still talking about these dudes all these years later, you know what I mean? You know, I look at it like organizations are good, marching plays its role, but we need the same idea. We got to all say, okay, we in the boat together, right? We black, we in the same boat. I don't care if you got a Benz, you got a house out in the suburbs, you still in the same boat that I'm in if I'm living in Homewood. Until we get that, we're going to be still stuck, man, because you got people fighting against each other. You know, some people want to save the little crumbs that they're getting, you know, and they don't want to put themselves in the boat with the rest of us. Well, I'm better. I got this degree. I'm out in this house. I got this money. You know, you the
Forget where you come from.
Man, you still the same.
Who he is.
You in the same boat I'm in, brother. Believe me, one way or another, you going to realize that.
There you go.
So until we get the same idea and understanding that we're in the same boat and we are all family and brothers and sisters, man, we're in trouble. You know, and that's why I mess with the youth a lot, because they are the ones that's going to change things. Unfortunately, a lot of the adults, man, they're stuck in their ways. They hard-headed. They don't want to. They want to argue with you all the time. You tell them something, they want to go look it up and try to, you know, give a rebuttal, or, you know, it's a mess, man. So with the youth, you know, they listen. At least they try to listen, and you plant seeds with them, and hopefully their seeds grow, and they can change this, you know, in the future, man.
You know what's deep about what you just said? I've come to the realization that a lot of us say these kids and man, they the problem, but ironically enough, that's exactly wrong. They're not the problem, they're the solution. They have the energy to be able to make change. And what we need to do is get their input to get their focus on what's wrong and ask their opinion. We need to be there to help guide them, but they are the change. That thought came to me, it's really been real pressing in knowing, but I'm watching the people who I'm working with, they're on the same page. So he almost said the exact same thing, knowing that their youth are the answer.
Exactly.
Gotta get out here and help these young brothers.
That's right,
man, and that's the key thing. I know you were doing the audio books last time we were here. Are you still pushing
Definitely,
that?
definitely.
I mean, that was powerful, man.
That's for the second book. How did I get here from a Cushite to a thug?
Okay.
Your first book was what?
What's called Wake Up Young Black Male.
Right.
Life is What You Make It. I wrote that back in '06. It seemed like for a long time ago, man.
You grew so much.
Yeah, man. And I just been continuously every day, you know, studying one aspect of our history or another, man, because, you know, everything is history is a current event, man. Unless you know what happened, man, you're not going to be able to figure out how to get out of the situation. You know, and a lot of young brothers, they're not really reading as much. I said, you know what, let me put this to music. Maybe put a little beat behind it. Maybe, and then, you know, slowly but surely, then you put a visual to it, a video together. Because, you know, we know, you know, symbols, a picture's worth 1,000 words, but a symbol's worth 1,000 pictures. And young people learn better by looking at something. This is just how we are as people of African descent. We learn better through visuals, man, as opposed to, you know, sitting down and reading a 500-page book.
Yes, sir.
You know, so that's why I did that, man. And it's worked, man. A lot of young brothers seem to like it, man. You know, they play it on their phones and different things like that. So
Old heads like me like it.
Old
Heads like
for
me
everybody,
like it.
brother.
Because when you're kicking that type of knowledge and intelligence and integrity that you do so eloquently. I mean, the truth got a ring to it.
Yes, sir.
And it'll make
Yes,
you
sir.
come to it.
Yes, sir.
You know, and to be able to do what you do, you got quite a gift, man, and your passion comes through the books that I've read of yours or the audio tape, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad to be able to put somebody in it. When I know Brother Spirit ain't in a certain place,
Right.
I just let him, I don't even say nothing, let's put
Yeah.
the tape on,
Yeah.
and you can see
Right.
how it absorbs them, you know? It gets them to know, because, man,
Appreciate it, bro.
the power of what you're doing is phenomenal.
Yeah. And I'm looking, you said November 9th?
Yeah, end
or
of October,
end of
early
October,
November at the latest, yeah.
Okay, now how can somebody get that information?
You can go to my
or
website,
Facebook?
swjbooks.com. You can check me on Facebook. You can look, the website primarily.
Okay.
What I do want you to do, because we're running out of time, but I want you to also elaborate on the radio shows that you've been
Oh
doing.
yeah, I've been doing a lot of radio shows across the country, man. Once or twice a week, I do mostly blog radio shows, some school, university radio shows.
You were in Louisiana last week, correct?
Louisiana, I've been in
Okay.
New York, LA, Georgia, Tennessee,
Yeah, you're getting
Jersey.
around,
I've been going all over, man. Slowly but surely putting that word out there, trying to get people to pay attention to what I'm doing, you know what I
Okay.
mean? And the frequency that people are on is the hip hop music, so I'm trying to tap into that frequency so that we can, because that's where the people are at, man.
Yeah.
It's almost like a child, where they at? They at the hoop court, they playing
That's
ball.
what- yeah,
you got to
that's
go
where
to
you
where
gotta
they're
go.
at, man.
There
They
you
ain't
go.
coming to you. You got to go to
Yeah,
them.
meet them
So
where they are.
There you go.
And then, have
There
that
you go.
vision, have that
That's
vision,
why
that
it's
plan.
ingenious that you incorporate your knowledge through that music. You
No
see what
doubt.
I'm saying? Because
No doubt.
you hit them.
No doubt.
You hit
No
'em.
doubt.
All right, man. Hey, definitely have some great things going on.
doubt.
If you haven't heard this brother lecture, if he hasn't been at your church or school, make sure you get in touch with this brother. He drops it, he brings it. He has a real love for the community, for our youth. And man, I'm just
Thank you,
glad
bro.
to be
you,
next to you, man. You're
Appreciate
doing
it, man.
great
Appreciate
things,
it, bro.
man. And keep it up. Are you still
you, man.
still coaching as well? Or?
A little bit here and there,
Okay.
man. Not as much now that I'm back in school and different things like that. But I try to, the same crew I had since they were 9 years old, they're now 15. I still keep in communication with
man.
them. A lot of them young brothers
Oh, yeah,
came
the
to
brother
the
was
class.
very powerful.
They, I still communicate with
Okay.
them. I check up on them, man. I pop, checking on their grades. The one young brother I popped up at the school the other day.
Okay. There you
Yeah,
go.
he walked out the class. He said, "Ooh, Coach Steve, what's up?" I said, "Yeah."
That's it. That's
I
good.
said, "Yeah,
What's
you
up?
thought I forgot about you."
Now here's a brother that has a young son himself. Brother, in fact, brother Lil Malcolm.
Yes,
you know
sir.
what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But he takes the time to spend time with other kids
That's
whose
what we
life.
need.
You see what I'm saying? And that's what we need.
That's it, man.
That's why it was always a pleasure to have you on this show,
Thank you,
brother.
brother. I
'cause
appreciate it, man.
No matter how long it's been since we talked to you, you always been doing positive things.
doubt, man.
And I only foresee greatness in your
I
future.
thank
brother.
y'all for your support, man. And
Oh,
y'all
yeah,
continue
man.
to do what y'all doing, man. Y'all doing some powerful things, man.
We're trying, man. We want to
know?
try to get the cameras out here
Definitely.
and really get out there.
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
This whenever you start it back up,
Okay.
man. But thanks for coming, man. You always
Appreciate
bring
you,
a
bro.
wealth of knowledge.
Appreciate it, man.
And it's always a great time when you're on here, man.
Definitely.
Anything else you want to get to the viewing audience?
Oh man, just do the best you can in whatever you do. If you a little league coach, figure out a way to put some consciousness involved. Make them brothers have a study group before practice, after practice. Add another element to what you're doing. If you're a teacher, continue to do what you're doing. Whatever aspect of life you're into, find a way to help these young brothers and sisters, man, because they need us, man. They need us. We in trouble, man.
Yes, sir.
If we don't fix this situation in the next 10 years, man, we are in trouble because it's getting worse and worse and worse. They're burying our scholars. They don't teach the young brothers and sisters the truth in school. We clearly know that, all right?
And our elders, we're losing our elders with their
Losing our
knowledge. You know what I'm
elders,
saying?
man. The elders are,
Right.
Losing our elders.
and they burying them, man. They ain't talking about them. Their books are, out of date, and people aren't really, doing what they need to do to lift them up.
Right, and we know where the money's going.
Oh,
They,
yeah.
like you said, I think
Oh,
you
yeah.
brought it
Oh, yeah.
last time you were here. They look at the scores of the fourth
Oh, yeah.
grade,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that determines how
Oh,
many
yeah.
more new
Oh, yeah.
prisons they're
Oh,
going to
yeah.
build.
Oh, yeah,
Instead of
man.
putting that money in the school, we know where it's going.
Oh, man.
But you know what? Like Steve said it in a direct way, talking about schools in our community, we have to start building our own schools.
Definitely.
Like Malcolm said years ago, how would you expect your enemy to teach your kid?
Definitely.
I mean, so we
Definitely.
have
That's the
to
truth.
take upon in our community
Right.
to do the things that it does to the betterment of ourselves.
Right.
Not detrimental to anybody else, but for self-preservation.
And don't be afraid to homeschool your child.
There you
either,
go.
Man. Don't be afraid. You need them to have socialization. You want them to get, interact with other children, but still, don't be afraid to homeschool.
You know what's so great about this particular panel, anytime we get together, but not the idea that the power of black men talking about prevalent things in their community to make a change. I mean, football is good.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Right.
pretty girl is good.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, but that's the topic. That's not. That's a statement, not a whole topic.
Definitely.
So we have to be focused on more important things that's for the betterment of our whole community. And then once we change that mindset, that thought, what we about, man, come on.
There it is. All
That's
things
it.
are thought manifested, brother.
There you go.
Okay.
Starts from the mind.
Starts from the mind. Once again, get at that website, how people can get in touch with you.
SWJbooks.com.
Okay.
Steve,
Steve,
John,
once
thank you,
again,
brother.
thanks for
Appreciate
coming
you,
through,
man.
man.
Your information will be at the end in case they want you to come and speak.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Hey, once again, Luther Dupree, Mike Vick, special guest Steve Johnson. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time. Peace.
Applied knowledge
brother.
is power. Applied knowledge.
Yes, sir.
Get plenty from this brother here, Stephen Johnson. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.